We have picked out the most skin-crawling places Canada has to deliver, so you can find out if any of these spooky tales have something to offer. Here are the haunted locations in Canada. Are you bold enough to pay a visit? However, before we begin our video, we would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. Number 1. Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, Alberta. Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta was built around the year 1888 near the Canadian Pacific Railway. If you believe that the Bates Motel in the film Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock was the Palace of Nightmares, you should totally visit this hotel, which is surely going to erase your sleep at night. It has been claimed that there have been several ghost sightings within and outside the hotel premises. These sightings include a bride who fell and died on the stairs of the hotel and is now known to haunt the stairways at night. Another sighting which many have claimed to see is that of a hotel staff bellman named Sam Colley, who seems to be too attached to the legacy of the hotel and continues to attend to his duties even after death, fully dressed in his uniform. Imagine running into this man in the corridor late at night while he carries hot trays around. Number 2. Keg Mansion, Toronto. It is hotels and houses like these where an accident so dark took place that the curse of it still looms in the air of the place. While today, this place is known as the Keg Steakhouse franchise. Once upon a time, the place called itself home to the famous industrialist Hart Massey and his family. Stories from this mansion suggest that in 1915, after the passing away of Massey's only beloved daughter, one of the maids named Lillian killed herself because she could not take the burden of grief. However, the other side of the story suggests that Lillian was perhaps having an affair with a male member of the family and chose to hang herself in fear of getting revealed and tarring her and the family's reputation. Many have seen the dangling image of the dead maid in the mansion. It seems she is now a permanent member of the Massey family. Number 3. Tranquille Sanatorium, Kamloops. The sanatorium was initially built in 1907 for the purpose of curing patients suffering from tuberculosis. Later, it got transformed into a mental asylum harboring shrill cries and mad laughter. It was after this that the place finally got shut and abandoned. From then on, the place was home sweet home to eerie moans, eerie waves of laughter, spine-chilling screams, and everything that was not human. Number 4. Craigdarroch Castle, Victoria. This majestic castle, built in the 1890s for the family of coal miner Robert Dunsmuir, has become the chilling spot for ghosts for years now. This Victorian-era castle, upholding all the grandeur and aesthetics of its age, is now one of the horribly haunted places in Canada. According to witnesses, there lives a ghost in this mansion who is a passionate piano player and is often noticed lost in the tune he creates. There also lives a woman who haunts the castle in her flowy white gown. A classic plot for a horror film, it seems, but spookily enough it is, perhaps, true. People are of the opinion that this is the state of the mansion because of the untimely death of the owner, just a year before the completion of the castle. Perhaps Mr. Dunsmuir decided, if I could not live here during my lifetime, I would surely reign in this place after my death. Number 5. The Old Spaghetti Factory, Vancouver. Ghosts in trains and planes are unparalleled to the ones found in the dungeon or in the storehouses of old worn-down houses. These are the ones that will straight jump on your faces and you have nowhere to go. You are practically stuck with them in a metallic carriage. One such ghost is known to inhabit this famous eatery, which is built on the ruins of an old underground railway cable. This ghost was perhaps the conductor of one of the many trains on that route and makes his existence felt by deranging tables, miraculously dropping the temperature of the restaurant and instilling a dark force in the place. To make matters worse, or more exciting, the owner of the restaurant has put up a picture of a decommissioned trolley from the 1950s where you can clearly see the blurred image of the deceased conductor standing on the last steps of the trolley. When you visit this place, do not forget to carry your ticket. We are sure you do not want the conductor running after you, do you? Number 6. Plains of Abraham, Quebec City. Wars are not only tragic when they take place on the ground and in the minds of the warriors, but sometimes the tragedy continues to live its legacy. The war cries and the damage sometimes linger in the place they were born in. Such is the story of the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. It is believed that in the year 1759, Major General James Wolfe put up a 3-month siege at Quebec City with his British forces, which ultimately culminated in the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. No wonder people still witness soldiers walking around the plains, lost and bloodied. Ghostly sightings of wounded soldiers have also been seen in the tunnels. Both Major General Louis-Joseph de Montcalm and Wolfe were martyred in the battle. It still wonders us whether their ghosts are still at war on the battleground or are finally resting in peace. We might never know. Number 7. Maritime Museum of British Columbia, Victoria. Okay, this one is quite interesting to note. This museum is often called the place of the newlywed and the dearly dead. The peculiar nomenclature is because of the history the museum carries within itself. It seems that few people are way too attached to a place to leave it for their heavenly abode. One such place to inhabit the ghosts of the past is the Maritime Museum of British Columbia, situated at Victoria's very famous Bastion Square. This place was once the city's jail and gallows and must have witnessed criminals of the highest order. Stories suggest that if someone looks through the windows of the museum's entrance, they might find a shadowy, slender-looking, Van Dyke bearded dark figure smoothly getting down the stairs. Number 8. Hockey Hall of Fame, Toronto. Legend has it, not all love stories die with the death of the lovers, especially if the story was left incomplete. Along with the tale, the lovers too sometimes stay behind to narrate their untold stories. One such tale that is still narrated to the world is of Dorothy, the lonely bank teller. Before the Hockey Hall of Fame was built, the ground was serving as a branch of the Bank of Montreal. The story goes with Dorothy's romantic proposals to the branch's manager, who continually rejects her pleas, resulting in Dorothy killing herself. Dorothy's sad ghost now looms around the very famous Hockey Hall of Fame, and some visitors have complained that they often hear the wails of a woman crying within the building. Do not know if a crying child at a museum is worse or the wailing of a dead woman. Number 9. West Point Lighthouse, O'Leary, PEI. If you have watched The Lighthouse and the underrated TV series Marianne, or read any of Conrad's Gray novels, you would already be spooked enough to never gaze at a lighthouse wholeheartedly. There's something so dark and disturbing about the crashing waves at the foot of a gigantic lighthouse that it needs no other climatic effect to bring forth horror. Rumors about one such lighthouse of Canada have long loomed the country. It is believed that the first keeper of the lighthouse, named Willie, still guards the illumined lighthouse and haunts the West Point Lighthouse Inn, one of the most peculiar hotels in Canada, offering all kinds of services at all times. Willie will perhaps make sure that the lights guide you home. Number 10. Beacon Hill Park. This 200-acre park was founded in 1882 and is a gem of downtown Victoria. The park was christened after two masts on a hill, which act as a beacon for sailors approaching the inner harbor of the city. Gorgeous and well-kept, with overpasses, lakes, creeks, and lawns, Beacon Hill Park has a dark underbelly as well. The screaming doppelganger appears on a rocky outcrop close to Douglas Street and Superior Street corner. This is the specter of a woman who was killed in the vicinity and is frequently seen at sunrises. So that's it for today. If you find this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, thanks for watching and see you next time.